In today's video, I am going to be telling you exactly how you're going to fix your binge eating so that you can finally lose those 30 pounds that you're looking to lose in just under 180 days, which is about 6 months. So, in this training, I'm going to give you actionable steps to help you stop binge eating so that you can regain control over your life and eating habits. And I promise this is not going to be just vague advice like, oh, you just need to try harder. You just need to, have discipline. Okay, this is a step-by-step process that you can implement immediately in your daily life, to overcome the urge to indulge in emotional eating. Okay, so let's just get right into it because I know everybody's very busy and I don't want to waste your time. So, let's get right into it. Sorry guys, I'm using this new thing. It's called Gamma. Okay, so cool. We're all good. But yeah, it's a way to present this in a neat little fashion. But yeah, so who am I? My name is Sebastian Beneker, and I'm the world's #1 binge eating recovery coach. But how did I get here? So, kind of to recap, I struggled with binge eating myself, due to stress from work. I also struggled with binge eating because of boredom. But this was about 2-ish years ago, and as you can see, these are all my own pictures. I had pizza from, I don't even know where it's at. It's called Lucifer's Pizza. This is in LA. I had, burgers from McDonald's, donuts. I used to just really struggle with binge eating, and every night I would just eat junk food to kind of, fill up this void, to help me de-stress, but in reality it wasn't helping me at all, and it was actually, really deteriorating everything in my life, so I got up to 180 pounds, and my health was in the worst state of my life. I felt out of breath just walking for a couple of minutes. I hated the way I felt in clothes, the way people looked at me, and the way people treated me. So, finally, I just kind of looked at myself in the mirror one day and I was like, dude, I gotta lose this weight. Like, enough is enough. I have to do something about this. So, I decided to take back control of my life and lost a ton of weight. And yeah, so now I help people do the same thing by following the simple step-by-step process that I'm going to be explaining in today's video. So, some of my clients, Julian, he actually beat his binge eating and got shredded with abs. When we started over here, as you can see, he wasn't necessarily like crazy overweight or obese, just some fat that we could lose. And then if you look on the right, like, yeah, we absolutely transformed his physique. Obviously, you can see the confidence in him. He just looks a lot more confident and really helped him out a ton. Another my client, Destiny, she lost 30 pounds in just under 90 days. We helped her fit into her old clothes again. And again, you can just see the change here. And she's obviously looking a lot slimmer, a lot better. One of my other clients, Jeremiah, he lost about 15 pounds of fat. And he became a more driven man in all aspects of his life. He always tells me, I just feel so much more disciplined, so much more motivated, not just in the gym, but in my career and every aspect of my life. So I think that's one of the coolest feelings in the world, being able to help someone discover that within themselves. Also, another one of my clients, Mariah, she's lost actually about 25 pounds. We're still working together, and she constantly has to buy new clothes because she keeps losing weight like every week. So just so you guys know that I'm not bullshitting, I do this for a living, and I help tons and tons of people fix their binge eating and lose weight. So, here's the honest truth, okay? Fixing your relationship with food is a lot simpler than people think, okay? You can absolutely lose weight while still eating the foods you love. You don't have to have this strict chicken, broccoli diet. In fact, that's actually very restrictive and very unsustainable, and you're not going to be able to keep that up for a long time, okay? So you do want to incorporate foods that you enjoy, right? That way you're able to sustain it and, maintain this weight loss. However, most people don't know how to do this because they don't fix their binge eating first. So what you'll see a lot is people try and lose the weight by doing this very strict diet or by going to the gym for 2 hours a day. What they fail to realize is that it's not sustainable because they haven't fixed their binge eating first, okay? It's like you wouldn't go into a UFC match if you've never done a martial arts class, okay? You're going to get your ass knocked out, right? So fix your relationship with food first, and then you can focus on the weight loss, okay? Nor do they even have a clue what the substitution method is or how to train properly, okay? So all of these foods right here are what's called the substitution method, which is something I created. These are all low-calorie, high-protein versions of most people's favorite foods. We have stuffed crust pizza. We have, I believe this, honey barbecue chicken, shredded cheese chicken tacos, even Rice Krispies treats, okay? We're going to talk about the substitution method in a few minutes, but you can make all your favorite recipes healthy, okay? Now notice I did not say easy. I said it's a lot simpler than people think, but I did not say easy because this is going to take work. In fact, let's talk about who this is for and who this is not for. So, this is for you if you binge eat and have trouble keeping weight off, okay? This is for you if you're not knowledgeable about which foods to eat to burn belly fat. This is for you, okay? A lot of people just, they try to eat healthy, but they don't even know if they're actually eating healthy. They don't know what foods are best for them. This is also for you if you're lost about what workouts to do to shred fat. This is for you, okay? If you're overweight and tired of not feeling comfortable in clothes, this is for you. If you're a busy individual with a tight schedule, this is for you, okay? I promise you do not need to dedicate hours and hours and hours of your life every single day, just going to the gym and trying to do all these fat-burning workouts, okay? You don't need to do all that. You only need 30 minutes to an hour of high-quality, effective workouts that you're actually going to enjoy to lose fat, okay? You don't need to go full bodybuilder style, all right? Now, this is not for you if you're under the age of 21, okay? The reason I say under the age of 21 is because typically what I found is people under the age of 21 just don't take things as seriously. They're still kind of with the party, college mindset, and also, most of the time they live under their parents' roof, so a lot of the time they can't buy their own groceries or supplements. They still have to listen to a lot of what their parents say, so you may not be able to go to the gym or may not be able to, diet as you should be. You may not be able to get the groceries you should be getting. So that's the only reason I say if you're under the age of 21, this is not for you. Okay, you want to be able to make your own choices and have your own income, so that way you can buy the things that you need to live a healthy life. This is also not for you if you're not coachable with strategies proven to work and unable to commit to a plan for 180 days. Okay, if you're the type of person that has an ego and you think, okay, I know everything about the gym, I know everything about weight loss, okay, then why are you even on this video, right? You have to drop the ego and be willing to be coachable, with strategies that are clearly proven to work, because I have tons and tons of clients that have seen amazing results, okay? And you also have to be able to commit to a plan. Don't just say oh, I want to lose 100 pounds in 2 months. That's not realistic, okay? You have to realize that this is going to take time. At minimum, you should be setting out at least a 6-month block, to really commit to your goals, okay? I find that to be kind of a really good sweet spot to really get into the habits, build a discipline, and also see some great results, okay? This is also not for you if you're skinny and trying to bulk up. I mean, for obvious reasons, I don't really help people who are skinny and just help them bulk up, okay? I help people, fix their binge eating and lose weight. This is also not for you if you're unable to reallocate spending from alcohol, drugs, partying, and other useless shit to invest into groceries, supplements, the gym, and ultimately your health. Guys, let's be real. If you're trying to take care of your health and lose weight, you cannot be doing the same things you've been doing. You can't be drinking alcohol, smoking all the time, partying all the time. You have to start to build new habits and reallocate spending from those bad habits into healthier habits, okay? Just the way it is. This is also not for you if you're impatient and you want easy results with no effort. I mean, I think that's very simple, very straightforward, right? This is not for you if you just expect to barely put in any work and expect to lose a ton of weight, okay? This is going to take work. Like anything worth having in life, you have to work for it, okay? So, if you want to be the person that has control over their eating habits and has their dream body, I'm going to show you exactly how to create an unbreakable mindset so you don't ever binge eat again and gain all the weight back. I'm going to show you how to find your body's caloric needs and track properly so you can finally lose the weight. And I'm going to show you how to train so that you can shred fat and build tons of muscle. All right. Before I get into this, have a drink of my energy drink. All right, so like I said, first thing that we have to do, first most important thing is fixing your binge eating, because like I said, guys, you can lose the weight, but if you're still a binge eater, you have all the potential to binge eat and gain all the weight back. So most important thing that I tell my clients is let's focus on healing your relationship with food first, and then we can focus on the weight loss. But first, we have to fix your binge eating, okay? So there's a 4-step process to fixing your binge eating forever. Number 1 is you want to find your binge eating triggers. Number 2 is you want to implement a plan for your triggers. Number 3 is called the substitution method. And number 4 is realizing that this is a marathon, not a sprint. So let's get right into it, okay? Two, find your binge eating triggers. There's three main triggers that I have found in my years of researching binge eating, okay? The first trigger is the stress trigger. Stress can often lead to emotional eating. And there's a lot of subcategories, like sadness. That's a subcategory of stress. But like I said, stress can often lead to emotional eating. And it's very, very important that you recognize these moments when you turn to food and use it as a coping mechanism during stressful situations. And by acknowledging these triggers, you can take steps to address the root cause of emotional eating, okay? The second trigger is boredom, right? Do you find yourself eating out of boredom? Maybe it's a Saturday, maybe you don't have work or school, and you're just like at home all day, and you find yourself constantly eating from the fridge, constantly eating from the pantry. That would be a sign of a boredom trigger. Many people struggle with overeating as a way to pass the time. I know this one was huge for me. So identifying and combating this trigger can significantly impact your relationship with food and overall well-being. And finally, another very common trigger is the restriction trigger. So, extreme dieting and calorie restrictions can often lead to binge eating, okay? So by understanding, how these limitations impact your eating habits, you can develop healthier approaches to really nourishing your body without deprivation. So there's two main things that I see in people when it comes to restriction. So let's say in the morning, let's say a lot of people do like intermittent fasting or fasting. So they skip breakfast, skip lunch, and they only have dinner. But what that does is it leads to more cravings at night, and you end up binge eating. Another way that people, restrict themselves is they restrict themselves by never having, their favorite foods, right? They're like, oh, I'm going to cut out all sugar, all sweets, all pizza. And that's just not good because, like I said, guys, it's not sustainable. You still want to incorporate these foods, obviously find that balance. But if you completely try to take them away, you're just going to crave them more and more, okay? So, how do you actually beat these triggers? So, when it comes to stress, we're going to want to incorporate stress relieving activities. So, you can engage in exercises. You can engage in exercise, meditation, spending time with loved ones. This is really going to be very person dependent, but these are just some things that can help. Can help replace the habit of turning to food in times of stress. That way you don't do that and you incorporate these healthier coping mechanisms, okay? Now, if it's due to the boredom trigger, right, you want to have better time management. So developing a structured schedule and engaging in fulfilling activities can alleviate those feelings of boredom and the impulse to eat out of idleness. So I always tell people, try to have something you're doing every single hour. So 8 a.m., let's say you wake up, 9 a.m., you make breakfast, 10 a.m., you go to the gym, 11 a.m., you do some yoga, 12 a.m., you start making lunch, right? Try to have something that you're doing every single hour. That way you don't feel bored, okay? Now, if it's due to restriction, you just want to have healthier eating habits, okay? So what I'll typically recommend is a more balanced approach to nutrition, okay? Definitely no fasting, no restriction. You want to have regular, smaller size meals because that can help prevent the sense of deprivation that often leads to binge eating. I will always recommend 4 to 6 smaller size meals with an emphasis on protein. Just space them out every 2 to 3 hours. If you're a very busy individual, what you can do, like if you don't have time to cook, is you can have a protein shake and some quick carbs like some rice cakes, and that can actually count as one of your meals, okay? But you want to have 4 to 6 smaller size meals because that's really going to help with that feeling of being full and satiated so you don't have cravings and you don't binge eat, okay? Now, we're going to talk about the substitution method, okay? So the substitution method, like I said, is my own unique system I built through my own trial and error by making tons and tons, I think hundreds of high protein and low calorie recipes, okay? They're all on my Instagram, plugging my Instagram if you guys want to check it, it's going to be in the description, but tons and tons of recipes on my channel. Basically, what the substitution method is, we swap out higher calorie foods for their lower calorie alternatives by using smart substitutions. So like I said, all of these foods right here are, typically people's favorite foods like pizza, tacos, honey barbecue chicken, Rice Krispies, and we just make them healthier, okay? By using healthier ingredients. So another way that you can use a substitution method is if you're craving, let's say, a soda, like a cold Coca-Cola, you can substitute it with a zero sugar Coke, which has 0 calories. So that's going to help you save a ton on calories. Craving chips, substitute it with lightly salted popcorn. Craving McDonald's, you can substitute it with ingredients and make it at home. Another substitution you can use is instead of using butter and oil when cooking, which has tons and tons of calories. People don't realize, guys, if you're loading your chicken or fish with butter, with oil, that can be 300, 400, 500 calories. So just substitute it with 0 calorie spray, and you're going to save a ton on calories, okay? And that is the substitution method summed up, okay? Another thing that's very, very important when it comes to fixing your binge eating, guys, is this is a marathon, not a sprint, okay? So do not punish yourself, right? So shifting your mindset from punishment to learning allows you to navigate binge eating recovery with compassion and positivity, promoting sustainable progress, okay? So if you binge eat one day, it's very important that you do not punish yourself, okay? Don't try and lower your calories the next day, to make up for the calories that you ate, right? Don't try to do endless amounts of cardio, run a ton of miles to burn off all the food you ate, okay? All that is doing is creating an unhealthy relationship with food, which doesn't help anybody, okay? If you mess up, just realize, okay, like, yes, I binge ate, but I'm gonna be fine. I will just start over the next day without punishing myself, without restricting myself. That is just going to keep you in the cycle if you keep punishing yourself. So just realize, yes, you binge ate. It's fine though. You're okay. Just start over fresh the next day. And that way you can start to build this healthier relationship with food. And another important thing to realize is that it's a marathon, not a sprint, guys. So approaching binge eating recovery as a marathon, not a sprint, encourages ongoing growth and development without the burden of unrealistic expectations, okay? It's not about snapping your fingers and your binge eating is going to be gone forever. I wish it worked that way, but it just doesn't. What I like to tell people, the way I like people to think about it is it's simply about reducing the amount of times that it happens. So let's say you binge eat every night, like every single night, right? Maybe that's where you're at right now. You want to reduce it to where it gets to the point where you're only binge eating once a week, and then once a month, and then once every 3 months, once every 6 months, so on and so forth, right? You're reducing the amount of times that it happens. It's not going to be a snap and you never binge it again, okay? Like I said, I wish it was that way, but it's more so going to be the way where you're just reducing the amount of times it happens by following the steps that I just gave you, okay? So now we're going to talk about how to lose the belly fat, the stubborn fat, okay? This is what everybody wants to know. Now that we fixed your binge eating, like I said, guys, this is where we can focus on the fun stuff, the fat loss, the going to the gym, the nutrition side of things. So there's 3 steps in how to lose fat, okay? Understanding what fat loss even is, how it works. Number 2, finding out your caloric needs. And number 3, tracking your calories, okay? So understanding fat loss, the law of thermodynamics, okay? Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only converted from one form to another. So you may be wondering, Sebastian, how the hell does this relate to weight loss? Well, if you eat it, which is energy intake, you must burn it, which is energy expenditure, or you will store it, which is weight gain, okay? So you must create a caloric deficit, which means less energy coming in, more energy going out to lose weight, okay? So there's 2 ways you can go about, achieving a calorie deficit: eating less or expending more energy, which is physical activity, okay? So we're going to be using a combination of both of these methods so that we can burn fat fast and, of course, safely, okay? You can eat more food if you increase your activity. So, of course, why would you not want to, do some cardio so that you can eat more, okay? Think about marathon runners. If you've ever seen marathon runners, these guys, they run marathons and they can eat like 6,000 to 8,000 calories, and they're skinny to the bone. Like, they're not fat by any means or even overweight. They're skinny and lean, and they eat like 6,000, 8,000 calories of whatever they want. It's because they run so much, right? So we want to use that to our advantage. Increase our physical activity. That way we can eat more food, okay? So to find out your calorie needs, we're going to go on this website called calculator.net, okay? So what you're going to do on here is you're going to type in your age, gender, height, and weight. And so you're also going to type in your daily activity level. I recommend just putting in sedentary, not very active, because most people are sedentary and most people overestimate how much they actually move. You should only put active if you're like a construction worker or something, if you're actually moving a lot during the day, which, again, most people aren't. And this is going to give you your caloric maintenance. So I would try to shoot for 300 calories below your maintenance every day, and that is going to create your calorie deficit, okay? So now that you have your calorie deficit, write that number down, and we're gonna have to start tracking our calories. Okay, it's the best way to it's the best way to lose weight. The only way you can lose weight is through calorie deficit, and tracking your calories is gonna make this process 10 times easier. Okay, because you're gonna know exactly what you're putting into your body. So, I recommend getting a food scale. Some people may think it's a little extreme, but I think, like, especially if you have no idea how much you're eating or how calories even work, I just recommend it. Okay. So get a food scale. They're like $7 at Walmart. And then you can get a calorie tracking app. The one I recommend is called Lose It. It's completely free, and it's really, really going to help you out. You can scan barcodes, and then it'll automatically update the calories, the protein, fats, carbs. So what you'll do is you'll scan the barcode of whatever food you're eating. You're going to weigh it out, or however much you ate, and then you just put it in the app. And then again, make sure that you're staying in a caloric deficit, and you do this every day, and you're going to lose weight. Okay, I have some videos on my channel if you want me to go more in depth on this, but that is pretty much the gist of how to track your calories, how to weigh out your food. Okay. So now we're going to talk about training. So we're going to talk about how to train so that you can shred fat and build tons of muscle while still having a life. Like I said, guys, nobody has the time to train 2 to 3 hours in the gym every single day. We have lives, okay? We're busy. We have careers, right? We're making money, moolah, right? So we only want to be in the gym 30 minutes to an hour at most because we have other priorities, right? The gym should only be one aspect of your life. It shouldn't be your entire life. So 2 things to shred fat and build muscle, right? High intensity training and the 12-3-30 method. So what the hell is high intensity training? Well, it's the most effective way to train to build muscle. It was popularized by a famous bodybuilder named Mike Mentzer. Now, we're not going to be doing the exact things that he was doing because he believed in like working out like twice a week, which I recommend a lot more than that, probably double that, 4 to 5 times a week. But what we can take from Mike Mentzer is his ideology of low volume and high intensity sets. So you're going to warm up as normal, but instead of the typical 4 sets of 12 reps that you'll see most people do, you're going to do 1 to 2 working sets per exercise in the 5 to 8 rep range. Okay, so a good rule of thumb is if you can do way more reps than 8, you should increase the weight. Okay, it's probably a little too light. But if you can't even do 5 reps, you got to decrease the weight. And you're going to be pushing to failure each and every single set. Your lifting will only be about 30 minutes per session, maybe 45 on leg day. And as a natural, which if you don't know what natural means, it means you're not taking steroids or SARM, those types of compounds, which I believe most of you are. As a natural, this is especially effective because you can recover much faster than if you did lots of volume, like 4 sets of 12. Okay, so again, guys, remember, just lower volume, which means lower sets, and just really pushing yourself with higher intensity, going to failure, and really just giving it your all. Like, I know it sounds funny, but it's the best way to train, okay? Now we're going to be talking about 12-3-30 method, which I crowned the king of cardio. I love 12-3-30. And what it consists of, you just grab a treadmill, you set it at 12 incline, 3 speed, you do that for 30 minutes, and it's going to burn 300 to 400 calories each session, which, in case you don't know, that is a lot of calories, okay? That's like a whole cookie or a donut, right? Most donuts, not every single donut, but a donut. So it's going to help you a ton in burning some extra calories so that you can enjoy some more food. And it's very, very, you can recover from this very fast. So I'm not going to get too deep into it, but it's basically what's called low intensity steady state cardio, which means you're not like sprinting or running a marathon. It's very, kind of easy on the body, so you can recover from it very effectively, which means you can do this a lot during the week. You can do this every day if you wanted to. That's why it's so effective, okay? Now, this is exactly what I did to help Julian beat his binge eating and get shredded with abs in just under 180 days, okay? So to recap, create an unbreakable mindset so you don't ever binge eat again and gain all the weight back. And the way we do that is by using the 4-step process that I outlined. And then you're going to find your body's caloric needs using calculator.net and track properly using Lose It and a food scale so that you can finally lose the weight. And then you're going to use high-intensity training and the 12-3-30 method so that you can shred fat and build tons of muscle while still having a life and not spending hours in the gym hating your life, okay? So, what now? Well, pretty much you have a few options available to you. You can continue what you've been doing that has kept you where you are and hope something magically changes. It won't. Or you can mirror this exact process and implement my proven strategies as I have laid out for you. You can follow it word for word and will see results, but it will take you longer to achieve them because you don't have me by your side and your results may not be as efficient. And I do want to clarify there are things I cannot go over simply due to the length required to explain everything in depth. Or your third option, which is your best option, you can work directly with me, follow the precise step-by-step guidance I give you to a T, and fix your binge eating and lose 30 pounds of fat in under 180 days. Okay? So, this option is only for you if you struggle with binge eating and you've tried to fix it in the past, if you've tried diets in the past to lose weight but you keep gaining the weight back, if you have tried working out but don't know which workouts are best at burning fat plus building muscle, and if you have 30 plus pounds of weight to lose, of fat to lose, I should clarify actually. So, here's exactly what I'm going to be doing for you. So, we're going to come up with a custom plan where we're going to identify and fix your binge eating triggers on a 60-minute one-on-one call. You're going to get access to my personal app where you're going to receive weekly workouts and meal plans. Everything is very structured and straightforward. Guys, I promise a toddler could do this. You have videos, tutorials for every exercise, the sets and reps I want you doing. Everything, like I said, is very straightforward. Okay, you will not be confused by any means. You're also going to get a 7-day meal plan that is updated every week if you ever need ideas and inspiration. And you can also track your calories on my app, so that way I can make sure you're staying accountable. We can make sure that you're shredding this fat and fixing your binge eating, okay? You're also going to get access to my binge eating recovery course where we have 40 plus members in there. And this is going to have hours of even more content just like this YouTube video to help you fix your binge eating, lose fat. There's other modules in there as well, like how to maintain your weight loss, how to find balance, with your social life, with your career, with the gym. There's tons of extra modules in there that'll really help you out, okay? And we also do weekly group calls, so this is a very cool community aspect that's really going to provide support and motivation. It's really just going to motivate and force you to level up because, you see everybody in the group calls, they're losing weight, they're killing it, they're following the plan. You don't want to be the motherfucker that's like, oh, I skipped the gym, I didn't hit my diet, right? You don't want that to be you, so it really forces you to level up and forces you to be around people that are like actually killing it. So it's a very cool community aspect that we have. So, my personal guarantee to you, and this is how sure I am. If you do not lose 30 plus pounds in under 180 days, I will work with you for free until you do. Okay, so you can book a free consultation call with me by clicking the first link in the description. It'll take you to my website. You just fill out this simple application, and I will reach out to you. We'll set up a consultation call and get you into my coaching program and fix your binge eating so that you can get in the best shape of your life. So, guys, even if you do not decide to do my coaching, that is completely okay. If you feel like you need the help, if you feel like you can have that guidance, then I would be more than happy to help you. But otherwise, guys, I really hope you found some value from this video and it helped you. I spent a lot of time making this, like 3 hours. So if you could drop a like, maybe share it with a family member or friend who maybe could find some value in it, who can maybe use it, that would be amazing. It would mean the world to me. And regardless, subscribe for more binge eating content. And again, if you guys want personal help, click the first link in the description. I will see you guys in my next video, and I love y'all.